Now it's time for Wombat's Fortnightly News.
I know. It's a big Fortnite week.
Darth Vader.
Yeah, I know. Darth Vader, once you hit level 100, because the new battle pass is out, the new season is out. It's all about vibing. It's colorful. It's good. They did a good job. There's also a little bit of Fortnite controversy.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Is Elliot having a beer right now?
Yeah, that was Elliot opening a can of seltzer. Some elbow-free seltzer. I mean, we don't have to talk about the Marvel Fortnite controversy if you're bored.
Let's do it. I want to hear about it.
Okay, so today the first issue of Marvel Fortnite came out.
I saw that. The guy's wearing like Portal Shell's outfit. What's up with that?
Spider-Man? Oh no, you mean Jonesy. It is similar. I don't know why they put him in that. It's because he was in a prison jumpsuit and he just took the top of the jumpsuit off, so it kind of looks like that. But I see your point. So the comic came out today. It has the code for Spider-Man in the physical edition. It has a new Spider-Man skin. It's like this new, unique, just in the comic books.
You can see his cock, right?
Yeah. 2 months ago, when they made the big announcement, they said that it would be available digitally and physically on day one, that you could buy the digital edition and get your Spider-Man code. Well, they waited until the day of release to say, oh, we made a mistake in this blog post we put up 2 months ago, and you actually can't buy this digitally.
What?
And people were pissed because if you didn't pre-order these comics, they sell out pretty quickly at your local comic book shop. I was lucky to get my copy, actually 2 copies, but and that's pretty much it.
Hey, Ship, where are we dropping, Ship? Ship, where are we dropping?
From what I heard from my local comic book store guy is that he thinks that a lot of comic book shops put pressure on Marvel to pull this digital copy because it hurts store traffic.
Right.
And if they want these stores to promote this new comic, then they had to do something about it.
Do you think Marvel took that to heart?
I don't think Marvel listens to anybody except for Marvel.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did that because for that reason, but we'll see. I don't know. All I know is that I got my Spider-Man.
Thank God.
I think it probably could just be that they didn't feel like dealing with it on the digital side.
I don't know.
Isn't it just printed in the comics?
I mean, it wouldn't be such a big deal if they had said that on the first, anytime within the last 2 months, they could have updated the blog and said, we needed to adjust this. But to wait for the day that the comics come out to say that they're not doing that, that's what makes it a little bit on the shitty side.
More like,
well, I'm glad it worked out for you.
It did work out for me. So there's that.
Awesome. What do we got in the news?
And just regular news. There's a lot going on. So did you see this about Diablo Immortal? Because I know we talked about it last week and people were like, you should play it. It's pretty good.
We learned that it was on PC and mobile.
Yeah. And
not just for phones.
So I downloaded it onto my phone. I played a little bit of it and I'm like, this isn't bad. This is
did you tap on the bad guys and then your guy did something?
I used my backbone. So no, I pushed buttons.
Oh, so that sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
And how does that work with the backbone controller?
Like any other Diablo game you've ever played before.
So that's good. It sounds like it's good.
I know. And then I read this thing where, but that's like I played the first level and it was the first level. They didn't ask me to buy anything. And I'm like, this could be fun. The problem is that if you want to fully upgrade your character in Diablo Immortal, it costs $110,000.
Do you want to do that?
I know. But
that's probably like if you want to buy like all the crap.
These stories and it's like
it's bullshit probably. Like no one does that. Imagine what the thing is in Apex Legends if you're gonna buy all the skins in Apex Legends. I mean, it's probably.
I don't think it's that much.
Well,
but then again, that's buying skins. This doesn't say cosmetic. It's all about pay to win stuff. I guess the question is more than the $110,000 is how much do you have to spend to finish the game?
Well, it's all a value proposition, right? Like how much is your time worth, Wombat? Is it worth $110,000 to just finish this game now?
Well, what is that? 100.
You want to stretch this out?
how does that save me time? Like, am I going to hit a point in Diablo Immortal where they're like, you have to wait 3 hours if you want to play again?
No, it's going to save you time because you're going to be overpowered. You're going to get through this game in a week if you spend the 110,000.
I mean, what's the balance?
Otherwise, you're going to be wasting your time with this game.
Let's say
years.
I wanted to spend, basically like your basic 50 to 70 hours playing this game, like a Diablo game. Mm-hmm. How much do I need to spend to do that? And is that like the $50 to $60 range? Is that nothing? Is that $20?
Why don't you find out?
$1,000? Because
it, right?
Because I'm never going to spend money in this
game.
Right,
exactly. So why don't you find out? Can you finish? Is it a game that you can finish?
I feel like you're probably going to play enough of it, because I'm going to try this too. I'm probably going to play enough of it to get the feel of Diablo and then just forget about it, because it's not like I've ever been like really invested in like, I got to get to the end of this Diablo. Like, I eventually get there, but it's not like I'm compelled. Like, I need to see how this ends.
It's 12 gigabytes on your phone too, so
I've got those.
Okay, just letting you know. It takes up a hefty chunk. You install the app, and then once you install the app, it's like, thanks for installing the app. Now you got to download all this stuff before you can play. Yeah, it took a long time.
I'm not gonna play that at all.
I heard it's only 5 gigabytes if you give them $60,000.
I mean, seriously, would you be surprised?
I just don't believe that a free-to-play mobile game is going to have the mechanics that I am going to be happy with. Like,
why not? It'll have the mechanics. The games are pretty good.
No, I understand that, but it's going to have those free-to-play mobile mechanics. Like, you can't play now unless you spend 70 gems, and I don't want to learn currency. Sorry. That's only for like
I've got a way for you not to have to worry about that.
Not to play it?
$110,000.
No, I'm sure you can't just
for
give them
$110,000. You get so many quality of life improvements.
You don't have to worry about currency. I'm sure you have to actually spend that in the various currencies. It's probably not even true. It's probably still annoying.
All about quality of life.
I'm going to save the money and time by not playing the game. It's going to be really good in my life. A lot of quality. What else we got?
Let's see. Did you see this sort of fairly late postmortem about Fallout 76?
No.
That basically the developers, particularly the QA testers, were pretty much overworked to the bone on a game that some people say they knew was not going to be what the fans wanted.
Wasn't this successful though?
Well, I mean, successful, I guess, is a relative term. I don't think it was the type of success they expected. It wasn't successful in the way that Fallout 4 and Skyrim were successful.
Was it? I haven't looked at the profits of this game.
It also wasn't as successful as Fallout Shelter was, which also seemed to be a big bone of contention, that if they wanted something that was going to be this sort of online microtransaction game, Fallout Shelter wound up being that success for Bethesda, and they could have used this team. They took a lot of people from this Fallout 4 team and from other teams that were used to making these types of games and had them make a game that they're not used to making. And if they had let those people make the game they're used to making,
makes sense,
then they may have had a better game. I mean, hindsight's 2020.
Yeah, they might have had a better game, but was it the right profit that they were going to go for? Like, they were going to spend a lot more to make that game, right?
Well, no, they spent a fortune making this game, and it was difficult, and it didn't work, and
I think they would have spent an extra super fortune to make a true Fallout sequel.
You should read the article, because I don't think they agree with you in the article.
Okay,
because basically what they're saying, when you're making when you make an online game like this, everything has to be running all the time in the world of the game. And they made a game with a very large world, and everything had to be running in the game at all times, as opposed to a single player Fallout game where all that really needs to be, alive in the game is what the player can see. Essentially, everything else doesn't exist until the player gets there. So that's how they could adjust the resources needed for the game itself while that's going on. And that's what helps balance the costs and why a game like Fallout 76 winds up being so expensive
a different resources, though. You're
compared
talking
to
about
a Fallout 4.
You're talking
like
about
if they had made
server
Fallout
resources.
If they had made Fallout 5 instead of Fallout 76, would people have been happier and would they have made more money? I mean,
yes,
probably.
Yeah, apparently they sold about 2.5 million copies.
It would have also been years later.
Right.
But
right.
Yeah.
You're talking probably another 2 years of development time.
Could they have made like Fallout 4.5?
Apparently the game was profitable when all was said and done, but it sounded like the launch was such a disaster that it wasn't worth it because the company didn't look too great. Although they eventually, they did manage to turn it around, but I think it was sort of too late at that point.
I think they had whales in this game, right? They had
a couple
of people still playing it.
That's why it probably managed to make money.
Yeah, in time, it just took longer than expected.
Just not what they were looking for, I'm sure, in terms of the profit.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know. I can't fault them for this. It's at least they tried to make something different, right?
I mean, they did. They just didn't go about it the right way, and they made something that I don't know if this is something that I still don't know who wanted this game.
Well, they wanted to make money because that was the trend was showing, like games as a service. They wanted to.
Yeah, they wanted to expand into a games as a service, and it made all the sense, right? Like we have this Fallout world,
right?
They have Elder Scrolls Online. They already had Elder Scrolls Online, but they didn't make Fallout Online. They made this weird sort of survival hybrid game that didn't address. I mean, they were even talking about the issue.
It's basically a Fallout game, though. If you play it, it's basically a Fallout game.
It's like a boring Fallout.
Well, yeah, because it's games as service, and that the stories and stuff are never quite as good. And
it's boring Fallout, and that doesn't work.
Yeah. And that's why it didn't sell as many copies as the normal Fallout.
They should have made Fallout Battle Royale and then watch the money roll in. Spider-Man, Fallout Spider-Man, Marvel X Fallout Battle Royale.
You don't even need that.
You're just saying words now.
I am just saying words now.
What else?
I'm saying words that are making people go, yes.
Maybe.